Sound on, vision on. This is not Alexandra Palace. Yeah. Recorder on, microphone plugged in, no crap on the lens, right resolution set, yes, and a wider angle of vision. Let's just try this for today. Yeah, so it's Friday the 22nd-ish, 16th, 17th, 18th, 19th, 20th, 21, 22nd. It's the 22nd of November. Week 31, day 5. My third video this week. Just Monday and Tuesday got away from me. Yesterday kind of got away from me, even though it was a day off. Had a go at recording Fallout 4. And it was okay. Wasn't too bad. I could really do with an actual mixer, but yeah, so that possibly might be a thing in my future, but I do know of a little tiny USB powered mixer that would be perfect. However, also the video capture card isn't that good, so yeah. And I don't want to do loads of editing. I want it to go into OBS. So we might have to take a drop in quality. Currently I'm getting a nice visual in kind of black and white. I'm getting a better resolution. So you be the judge if you want, because I'd like to do a Socialist Fallout 4 playthrough where the emphasis is on building a functional community and stuff. That would be nice. So yeah, let me know. I may be able to upload something if the sound quality needs improving. There needs to be a way of using the HDMI to provide a mixer. But yeah, it's coming. Or, do you want to see an insert picture of me on a webcam talking while I'm playing it? I don't know, because, it would mess up some of the screen, but maybe only a little bit. But I got killed a lot yesterday in Fallout. So yeah, things are progressing. Progress. So yeah, we have all these things. Next thing I wanted to blah on about is some figures. So we're up to 2,500 views and around 400 plus hours of watch time. So thank you for that, which is good guns. We lost a subscriber last week and then we gained one. So we're still on 33 subscribers, a third of 100, 10% of the 300. So yeah, so things are progressing. I had a nice message from Harlequin about because he had bad internet reception. Let's roll this round. So yeah, wrong way. Let's adjust that. Yeah. So back in the woods. I have failed to exercise this week. I'm just too, just work is now these, 4 8-hour shifts and 2 10-hour shifts, if you include the lunch breaks. So I'm out of the house for 54 hours a week, if you include the travel time. Yeah, exactly. Add in the 49 hours a week, and my time's being kind of chomped down. So in a couple of weeks, just over 2 weeks from today, I've got 6 days off, and I want to make them count. I will need one just chill out day, and then 5 days of getting my life a bit more sorted, shall we say. Yeah. So yeah, it occurred to me, you know, I tried to add up. I've got like 183 videos. So now there's yeah, there's a lot of videos up. It's many videos, which is a stat that it's hard to find on YouTube. It's hard to find out how many videos you've got. But yeah, quite a few, all in their weekly playlists and the bonus videos. So yeah, so it's almost, you know, I'm not going to include rendering or uploading time, but the amount of time I've put into shooting the videos, shall we say, considering I've got, well, I'll include the editing time, but not the rendering and uploading time, and all the general mucking about. So I'm actually at the point where the amount of time people spend watching the videos is about the same as the amount of time I'm putting in. So that's not too bad. I'm okay with that. It's much better than being overlooked. So yeah, so there's some interesting stats. You know, all in all, I've probably put in 400 hours. And you know, I've got a good lot of exercise. I'm out in the woods, bumping into people, doing stuff I wouldn't normally do, actually thinking about my philosophy on life, getting feedback on the things I've said. Some of them have been incorrect and have been corrected, which is great. And I like the fact that my audience is of such a size, and the people that comment, you know, literally do go away and think about what they're going to say. Unlike other places on the internet. Oh, I've had some really weird comments based on comments I've made on other people's shows. Yeah. So yes. So I'm out and about and doing my thing. So that's good. You know, the stats are sort of like hanging in there, getting good views. You know, the people that watch my stuff like it and carry on watching it, which is great. That's the point. I mean, the reason I'm kind of starting again with Project Morlock, and I think I'll still produce stuff for Urban Agoge, but I think it will drop off in the number of videos I make. But there is a reason to start another channel, because YouTube will push a new channel if it's got a good trailer, if the content's regular, if you've got the right tags. And when I first started making Urban Agoge, the first few videos were literally me doing a thing. I was making a video purely so I'd have an excellent reason for getting out of the house. And now I feel antsy if I don't go out for a walk at least once a day, which is good. So I'm getting like a 1.5 miles walk. You know, divide by 3, it's about like running 500 meters a day as to the amount of exercise, and it's all cross country. It's not even ground. So yeah, so the first few videos kind of put people off, and there's no way of reassuring people or getting them to say video 4 or video 5, because the video technology just isn't there. You know, and I need better editing. I need to be able to do some better editing work. And I've realised that, you know, I'm not too fussed if, you know, it doesn't go global, but I think people would benefit from the idea of, you know, taking on, you know, not reading a big self-help book, but that somebody else has and has gone, right, okay, this is the useful stuff I dug out of that. This is the life-changing stuff. Because when I started, I sometimes didn't get out of bed till 11 in the morning or 12. You know, I've had days where I've just stayed in bed pretty much. Which, you know, is kind of a waste of time. You know, unless you're doing something interesting, but I never was. That's the thing. I wasn't doing anything useful. So, the exercises over the last 6 months have really taught me that, you know, get up, make your bed, drink some water, eat, exercise, even if it's only going for a walk. You know, meditate on what it is you want to achieve, and I've had a limited amount of success with that, which is cool. maybe look at other things, maybe widen my area of understanding as far as how my brain works, how I can get me to do things that I wouldn't otherwise do. It's cool stuff. But I think I basically kneecapped it by publishing those videos before I should have done, and by not pushing to get better equipment and just going with what I had. That's not actually all that useful as far as YouTube is concerned. So yeah, so I'm getting like throughput. You know, the first episode, people have watched the first 2 minutes of an episode, like hundreds and hundreds of them. It's been pushed at them, and then they walked away from it and not subscribed. Whereas the people that subscribed, got into it, dug it, you know, as a kind of like a follow them from patrolling, really like it. So that's my motivation. So, you know, I am sorry in advance that in about 6 weeks, Urban Agoge will still get a couple of videos a week, but of its own content, and maybe I'll just do a double upload and upload you the stuff from Project Morlock. Because I do feel that that class war is alive and well, and that, you know, we're being farmed a little bit. But that feeling hasn't changed since I first started doing Rangers about 15 years ago. So yeah, I've got a bit of a thing about it. And now when you see what's happening, and you know, the 2015 election was a thing where Frankie Boyle, you know, said, you've now got this law that's been passed by the Conservatives that if an old person gets Alzheimer's, the local council can sell their home out from under them to pay for their care. And old people voted for it. They literally, you know, lined up, dragged themselves down to the voting booth and voted themselves out of their own homes. It's messed up. It's truly, truly messed up. You know, so I can see, although the only manifesto that looks good for the average working bod, including me, I mean, even with tax, if Labour's primary plan to put the minimum wage up to 10 quid, which is about $12 American, I immediately make £120 more a month, purely because of the hours that I do, even with tax. That would really make a difference to me. And then there's the council housing that they want to build. If you're from other than the UK, council housing is literally local authority-owned housing. And we used to have a lot of it, especially after the Second World War. And Margaret Thatcher brought in the option of buying the council home you'd lived in, initially provided you'd lived in it for 7 years, and sold off nearly all of it. And now the stuff that is ex-council housing, including the house I live in, is owned by landlords that get rent and put that into a bank account, and that's it. Whereas if there were, you know, millions of council homes knocking around, I could just walk up to the local council, put myself on a waiting list, pick a house and rent it for about half what I rent it for, knowing that my money is going to the local authority. It will eventually pay off the cost of construction, and then, you know, pay for more construction. Great. Much more social. But it does sound like communism if you're from, say, the United States. I get that. But, you know, if you have social housing, you have no homelessness. If you have people that can afford to live and have got jobs, no crime. You know, it's poverty that causes a lot of crime. It's not to say poor people are criminals, it's just that poor people are less likely to have a moral quandary about committing a crime, because they have less to live for. You know, and again, I'm not saying poor people don't live rich and fulfilling lives. Observe. I kind of do. But it's, you know, it's hard. So yeah, so I really hope, you know, Jeremy Corbyn becomes the next Prime Minister, and I really hope they manage to do some, if not all, of the things they propose in their manifesto. It works, you know. trying to produce a more equal society. It's a good idea. And finally today, I just wanted to talk about a couple of things that Zoo Echo said, and always, it's probably one of the only YouTube channels where I can say you should always look at the comments, because the comments are always good. People don't snap off an offensive comment just because they're in a bad mood. People go away and read and think about stuff. That's like totally worth all the effort. Just the comments section. And Zoo Echo said it's like maybe we need to look at things more in the way of the he thinks it's an ancient Greek saying, where a man has the how do you say, the level of selflessness that enables him to plant a tree under which he won't live to be able to sit under the shade of. That's a really good idea. Do something from which you're not going to personally benefit. I think the other one was that the other point that he made was British health was far better in a way during the Second World War because people ate a more vegetable heavy diet. A lot less sugar for a start. Virtually no processed food. And yeah, people probably were a lot healthier. But they were hungry all the time. As literature from the period will tell you. Even an old copy of the Beano always ends with a slap-up feast because food was not in superabundance. But also, I don't think there are as many people starving to death in the world either. So the ease of transportation probably causing a lot more of that. Global conglomerates continually pushing down the price of food production. So yeah, that's about all I got to say about that. So after this video, there's a short video from Harlequin, who's been busy AF. So, that hill really got to me this morning. Thanks for watching. Do take care.
Good morning, everyone. Lots of flies around. Don't you go anywhere too exciting. Hope it's decided to go and scat around. Do a big circle and a big loop. Yeah, try and keep it short today. It's been bushfires here. We hit 38 degrees here. Yesterday, midday, and catastrophic fire danger warning for most of Victoria. Yet climate change isn't a thing. It's the middle of, it's the end of November. 23rd, 24th November. Yeah, so that's a new one in my records. There's been widespread drought across the whole of New South Wales, just north of here for absolutely ages. That's kangaroo grass. That is kangaroo grass. That always astounds me. That brings me to my first thing people should check out if they don't know it. There is a guy called Crime Pays But Botany Doesn't on YouTube. Well worth checking out. The guy's from Chicago somewhere or other, speaks with a very thick accent and travels around it and explains botanical things in a very fun way. Very post-apocalyptic vlog type thing. I think it's very cool. Hello, you've come back. Yes, why are you licking me? You've brought flies with you too. Yeah, study's going well. Other than the obscene hot. Looks like it's going to be another cracker of a day today. Bits and pieces happening. Internet's finally fixed, although it's still not working properly. So we'll get that sorted eventually, hopefully. Just in time to move, I imagine. Lots of ums. I noticed how many ums there were. There's an R instead. Sometimes I feel like Winnie the Pooh. Well, I don't look like him. There goes Pepper. Yeah, what else did I have to say? Go check out the biology, the botanicals YouTube. That's very interesting. Well worth checking out. You succeeded on Twitter when you got two of the vegan guys to both retweet your tweet. That was quite good. That was my social media exploits this week. Slowly building as we progress throughout the lots of stuff this in the coming weeks. So this week on social media, it's all been about about the positives and negatives of social media, which I find really interesting. There's a couple of Netflix things worth watching. There's a Black Mirror. There's a Black Mirror episode, season 2, episode 1, I think it was, where I don't think that's going to focus. Focus on that. Focus on that. Okay. The seed pods, which you can probably see, are falling out of it's the sexual reproductive organs of the plant, of the kangaroo grass, and also seed pods. That's very cool. Kangaroo grass is called kangaroo grass because the head of the kangaroo grass looks like a kangaroo paw. I always thought that was interesting. Yeah. Sorry, lots of flies. I've come back with a vengeance. What are you doing? Is that ant going to come over here and bite me? Or are you going to eat it first? So yeah, lots of discussions on the positive and negatives. So yeah, go watch season 3, episode 1 of Black Mirror if you haven't already seen it. It's on Netflix or somewhere else, I'm sure. There's also a thing called social_animals, all lowercase, on Netflix. That was also worth a watch. That goes into Instagram. It goes into 3 people's lives on Instagram, and how they're viewed. And yeah, I find that very interesting. It speaks to me a lot of the fact that we need to take back social media as a so instead of analytics being used against human beings and negative things happening, we need to sort of take back control of the delivery mechanism for social media, so it becomes more about the positive message rather than the negative, which associates with both capitalism and with oh, I timed that well, didn't I? That was the perfect one. The negatives of social media. I think there are some negatives of social media. I think most of those negatives have been around since, before social media was a thing. I think they come through. Put off my Marxist lens on now. Capitalism forms a lot of those. Capitalism forms a lot of those negative associations, as did feudalism before it. Yeah. Another thing worth checking out on Netflix, which I watched yesterday, was The King. It's really, really good. It's a retelling of Shakespeare's Henry V. It's really, really interesting. Excuse the flies. There's lots of them. They're really annoying. I need one of those hats with corks on it. If you'd like to sponsor the channel, you could get me in a really cool Akura with hats, and I'll even wear it on camera. With wine corks. Yeah, that's actually a thing, supposedly. I never saw it. Yeah. I haven't got my burger on today. It was too hot. I couldn't give a shit, and I couldn't find it. And it was just like, no, I'm just going for a walk while there's no one here, so I can get out of the house. Don't go anywhere. Come here. Come here. Let me smell whistle then. Come here. I'm going to wish you all the best day. Go for a walk in the bush if you can. Go for a walk outside if you can't. Jesus, do star jumps if you can't even do that. Go find a skipping rope somewhere or other. Do something. Have a nice day, and we'll see you all soon.